Dwarf's Fortress 2, featuring Heavy Weapons Dwarf. I'm stealing that joke from you, Cora. Yeah. You think I should play as the Heavy Weapons Dwarf? That's probably true. I should. Dwarf Fortress doesn't play as nice with OBS as I would like it to, so this game's about to minimize when I go over to change my scene. So, have fun with that. Wow, you can see some of my stuff. Hello, it's me. We're not playing SnowRunner. We're closing that Steam window and ignore how much stuff I have on my desktop. Because who saves stuff to their desktop? That would be ridiculous. That would be a silly thing to do. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Don't worry how much stuff is on my desktop. It's me. I do just have a GIF called gif.gif, and it's a GIF. It's a GIF of me. Behold, the GIF.gif. It's just the default save name for the thing I use to make GIFs of stuff. So I usually have one capture.png on my desktop, which in this case is the name binge eating horse, and and I usually have a gif.gif as well. So that's how my desktop looks. It's kind of bad. I need to clean up my desktop. GIFtuber confirmed. I'm a PNG tuber actually. The GIF is a secret GIF. That's just for me. How you doing, Cora and Cyclex? How you doing today? We're playing a little dwarfen fortress. I'm gonna seek out some good locations here. I was letting it generate a world for us and also search for some good embark locations while we were while the stream was starting up there. Oh, melt into a gelatinous puddle. This isn't fish. I played fish for the last 2 weeks, so I thought I should mix it up, do some dwarves. I'm terribly sorry that this isn't fish. I probably should have done fish this week because Nullcasting did a fish thing earlier. Let's see. What are dwarves? But fish on the mountain. You're so right. You're so right. This seems like it wouldn't be a bad spot. We got heavy forest. We've got thick vegetation, warm temperature, which I think hot temperature would mean that there's no freezing at all of the water during the winter, which is nice. But I think warm also has minimal freezing. I kind of like to have a river running all the way through my embark site rather than just through the corner there like that. This one seems alright too. I think, I'm going to go with my first instinct and just go with this one, I think. We've got, there's elves nearby here. Oh, elves are the worst. We don't want to deal with elves. Well, we're still going to do this one. Elves don't like it when you cut down trees. So it's kind of a pain. Oh, I don't have some of this stuff available from my default kind of embark that I use. You elves. I am playing the Steam release. This is the Steam release, Ironic Onion. I could play an older version. I have older versions on my computer, but I really like the Steam release, and I'm used to the controls now. Okay. So I'm just going to grab some stuff that we'll need, because I think that said I don't have yeah, I need a wheelbarrow, Probably a step ladder. Yeah, okay, let's do this. Oh, buckets as well, right? Yep, we'll get some buckets. The game music gets a bit loud relative to my voice. Okay. When I get into the game proper, I will turn down the music volume relative to the rest of the game. Let's see. You haven't played the Steam release yet because money, but it looks very cool, but also very different. It is very cool, but also very different. We're going to take a couple of buckets with us. I actually kind of have a lot of points to spend because it's just missing a lot of things that I normally bring. We'll need splints. Bring at least 3 of those. Bring at least 3 crutches. And the material doesn't really matter that much, which is why I'm not concerned about this not having the right materials for the embark I'm doing. I have some ropes already. Right, okay. We'll bring 5 barrels. Where are wheelbarrows? Is that under tools? There we go. I don't need a metal wheelbarrow. We'll just bring 1 almond wood wheelbarrow. My throat's a little more gunked up than usual, so I apologize if I'm muting my microphone more than often. Goodness, what else do we even need? I mean, this covers kind of a lot of what I would normally bring. Some fish would probably be good. Let's go with cave lobster. We'll bring 10 cave lobsters. Oh, you know what? No, this is the long haul. We can't bring cave lobster. We've got to bring perch. It simply has to be perch. Why won't it let me add perch? I guess there aren't any male perch available? And there's only 2 female perch available. Okay, well now it let me add 1 male. Well, this is weird. It's like it didn't like my clicks. Okay, well. What is happening here? It is just not responding well to me trying to have a perch moment. There we go. Alright, so we've got fish, we've got some meat, we've got... Yeah, I think we should have everything we need. So what do I spend this last 100 points on? I think it skipped some of the leather stuff that I normally bring. So I will just add a couple leather bags and some plain leather. Where is just the leather? Ten of that. 2 more pieces of pigtail cloth and... you know, we'll throw in 2 more plump helmet spawn. That should do it. Alright. We should be ready to go. I also bring turkeys, a couple of dogs, a couple of cats with me, and a ewe and a ram. The turkeys we will be breeding. We will be creating turkeys. Now, what are we going to name this fortress? There isn't a cable. There is a word for 2, but there isn't a word for cable. Wire? We'll go with wire. Come on. 2. No? I can't use 2 as the rear compound? Double? Twice? Huh. Okay, okay. New plan. Goodness. It will not... There we go. The wire of 2, hopefully. No. Tomorrow? Can tomorrow be a rear compound? It can't. Wire? Okay, what if it's new wire? So it's new wire. This is about the point where you always got frustrated and gave up on your Dwarf Fortress attempts, was trying to make a name. You could just randomize the name. You don't need to do anything fun. So it's new wire, trying to find some inspiration in here. Art? No. Oh, hello, Tia. New Wire the Excellent? Unfortunately, that is not an option. You don't need to do anything fun as a good explanation of Dwarf Fortress sometimes. That's fair. You made it work. I'm glad that you got Twitch working on your phone, Tia. It's nice to see you. Power. New Wire, the power of... I doubt that there's a word for media. Streams? Oh, hell yeah. New Wire, the power of streams. That's it. That's what we're doing. And what's our group name gonna be here? Definitely not the Moist Salve. The Wheels of Folding, the West Books, the Persuasive Vault, Incinerated Banners, the Smith of Cremation, the Great Boot. I'm going with the Great Boot. I've never been called out by the TV show I'm watching before. yeah, it's a little bit like that. It's interactive, you know? The symbol. So obviously it's gonna be a red squirrel. It's an image of a red squirrel. Is there climbing? No. Sitting? No. Okay. The red squirrel is contemplating the apricot tree. Eating steel acorns? I don't know if that's an option. Does not appear to be an option. Sad. Yeah, I think a red squirrel contemplating an apricot tree is appropriate. That feels right for the Long Haul Fortress. Alright. There we go. Problems. Am I missing anything? Got sprints, got crutches, got wheelbarrows. I didn't get a stepladder, but I think that can wait. I can make a stepladder later, no problem. Barrels I've got, and I replaced the pond turtles with perch. Let's go. Long Haltress. A dwarven outpost, you have arrived. After a journey from the mountain homes into the forbidding wilderness beyond, your harsh trek has finally ended. Your party of 7 is to make an outpost for the glory of all of Udardaton. There are almost no supplies left, but with stout labor comes sustenance. Whether by bolt, plow, or hook, provide for your dwarves. You are expecting a supply caravan just before the winter entombs you, but it is spring now. Enough time to delve secure lodging ere the leopards get hungry. A new chapter of dwarven history begins here at this place. I should have tried pronouncing this ahead of time. Ishorast Midor Meban, New Wire, the power of streams. Strike the earth. Alright. So we've got our dwarves here. Let's see what they're all about. So we start with 7 dwarves. I already set them up with skills and stuff ahead of time, so we've got, you know, a miner and carpenter, mason, the person best suited to be the expedition leader, who will also be sort of our leader for a time. Let me here get that music turned down a bit. I think we'll just turn all of the volume down a bit there. Is that still pretty audible? That was a pretty solid pronunciation, actually. Thank you. So yeah, we start with 7 dwarves. I already set them all up ahead of time with jobs that we will need. So we'll start with our planter here. Let's see what they're like. So Tulan Kadamush, our planter, she has a great feel for the surrounding space and a feel for music, but she has little willpower, a meager ability with social relationships, and very bad analytical abilities. She feels a strong need to reciprocate any favor done for her. She tends to be a bit stubborn in changing her mind about things. She's somewhat fearful in the face of imminent danger. She's often cheerful. She's slow to anger. She likes to brawl. She could be considered rude. That's kind of unfortunate to have in a starting group. She has a noticeable lack of perseverance. She prefers that everyone live as harmoniously as possible. She needs alcohol to get through the working day. She likes working outdoors and grumbles only mildly at inclement weather. That is actually really important. One thing that can happen in this game is dwarves will get very upset about getting stuck in the rain. I have had dwarves have trauma from getting rained on for a very brief time. Being stuck in the rain for an hour is a comparable trauma in Dwarf Fortress to having a family member murdered in front of you. So only mildly grumbling at inclement weather is an extremely important personality feature. It's also a decent one to have in our planter. I believe she should also have fishing, yeah. I don't know why it's like that, but that is the way that it is, so. Alright, now we've got Logem Whirlbells, but in the Dwarven language that is Estelrith. She has great analytical abilities, a great affinity for language, and a very good feel for social relationships, and a sum of patience. But she has an iffy sense for music, a large deficit of willpower, and a poor memory. She seeks out exciting and adventurous situations. She often feels discouraged. She can easily fall in love or develop positive sentiments. She often feels envious of others. She tends to be a little tight with resources when working on projects. She is curious and eager to learn. She's not particularly interested in what others think of her. She takes offered help and gifts without feeling particularly grateful. She tends not to be swayed by emotional appeals. She needs alcohol to get through the working day. She likes working outdoors and grumbles only mildly at inclement weather. We got 2. Dwarves don't like sky or water. Sky water is the worst thing. Yeah. Here is Neil Livid Trades, Neil Azinish, the fish cleaner. She has a great musical sense and a good intellect, but she has a meager ability with social relationships, a poor memory, and poor creativity. Completely unmoved by art or the beauty of nature. That's interesting for someone who has a great skill with music. That's very interesting, actually. And she's conflicted by this as she values artwork and its creation. Okay. I should have read the second half of the sentence. That's interesting. She cares a lot about art, but doesn't really feel emotional about art, despite loving it. That's interesting. She has a strong tendency toward privacy. She tends to be a little wasteful when working on projects. Friendly individual, brave in the face of imminent danger. She doesn't often experience strong cravings or urges. She has a tendency toward forming deep emotional bonds with others. She doesn't mind a little tumult and discord in day-to-day living. She tries to keep her things orderly. She does not easily fall in love and rarely develops positive sentiments. She likes to keep things practical without delving too deeply into the abstract. Sounds like she thinks the act of creating something is more important than what's actually created and gets little pleasure out of a completed work. Yeah, that does sound about right. That does make some sense. Let's see. She's not particularly interested in what others think of her. Tends to hang on to grievances. That's not great. She generally finds herself quite hopeful about the future. She tenses up when she's nervous, and she needs alcohol to get through the working day. She likes working outdoor and grumbles only mildly at inclement weather. We're getting some good pulls there, honestly. This is our expedition leader, Cog Bendroof, Cog Matsulob. She has a great musical sense and the ability to focus, but she has a shortage of patience and an atrocious spatial sense. She's greatly pleased by her own looks and accomplishments. She cracks easily under pressure. Not a great quality in a leader. She's very curious, sometimes to her detriment, often cheerful, bit of a greedy streak, tends to ask others for help with difficult decisions, can sometimes act without deliberation, doesn't often experience strong cravings or urges, has a tendency to consider ideas and abstractions over practical applications, also not a great quality in a leader. She doesn't mind a little tumult and discord in day-to-day living, needs alcohol to get through the working day. That's going to be a common theme in basically every dwarf. That's normal. She likes working outdoors and grumbles only mildly at inclement weather. We're getting good with the weather stuff. Let's see, Solon Dusimgutid, Solom Workutter. Huh. Interesting name. He has an iron will, a very good sense of empathy, a great feel for the surrounding space, and a good sense of the position of his own body and the ability to focus, but he has an iffy memory and a lousy intellect. He's very stubborn, often feels lustful. This guy loves to bone. This guy is so horny. He is very humble, though. He tends to be swayed by the emotions of others. He lives a fast-paced life, friendly individual, rarely feeling discouraged. Only tends to This guy likes to work his butter. Good lord. He rarely feels discouraged, tends to form only tenuous emotional bonds with others. He tends to be a little tight with resources when working on projects and asks others for help with difficult decisions. Doesn't easily fall in love and rarely develops positive sentiments. He tends to make a small mess with his own possessions. He generally finds himself quite hopeful about the future, but occasionally overindulges. Tends to think before acting. He likes working outdoors. Yep, great. You love to see that. He does dream of creating a great work of art. Now, okay. So he's close friends, despite not forming close relationships often. He is close friends with most of our party here, with 4 of the other 6. So that's nice. Let me just got a couple more to look at here. This is Dodok Amudlikot, otherwise known as Dodok Thunder Ink. Great musical sense, very good sense of the position of his own body, creativity, the ability to focus, and a good memory, but not great with empathy. Oh, thank you for following, Seophia. I haven't seen you around in a minute. Hi, it's nice to see you. He doesn't often feel envious of others. He doesn't try to get things done perfectly. He's quite comfortable with others that have a different appearance or culture, tends to hang on to grievances. He doesn't seek out excitement. When he's thinking, he clicks his tongue repeatedly. He interrupts others during conversations when he's exasperated. He cracks his knuckles when he's angry. He likes working outdoors, etc. Maybe all of these, Sorry, I need to close out tutorial windows. I hit the wrong button there. Sorry, we looked at Deduk, so now we just need to look at our minor, which is Melbil Estebuk, Melbil Clearlances. She has great analytical abilities, very good intuition, and a great feel for the surrounding space, a good memory, and an ability to read emotions fairly well, but she has meager creativity, a meager ability with social relationships, and a large deficit of willpower. She has no confidence at all in her talent and abilities. She has a very calm demeanor. Low sense of self-esteem, not readily moved by art or natural beauty, and she's conflicted because she values artwork and its creation. So she can relate to, the other one there. Who was that? That was Toulon. I guess they can relate to each other. Maybe they'll bond over that. Are they already friends? They are already friends. Yeah, so maybe they can bond over their interest with art. But I like how your expedition is 6 women and 1 guy who fucks really hard. Yep, that's what we've ended up with. We will get migrants eventually, but Hello, it's been a good few years. I thought I'd stop in because I saw you were live. This looks pretty nice. Thank you. This is Cable 2 is kind of an art collective that I am a part of. So, yeah. It's a pretty cool place, and I'm not the only person who streams on this channel. So, yeah, it's definitely worth hanging out on, I think. I really, really love this community. Let's see. So, stubborn, occasionally overindulges, sense of duty, generally acts impartially, and is rarely moved to mercy. Thanks for following, Tia. Tia Nadjeja. I'm the one person in the world who can pronounce that name. That's not true. She generally acts impartially and is rarely moved to mercy. She tends to form only tenuous emotional bonds with others, tends to hang on to grievances. She's trusting, friendly individual, can handle stress, rarely happy or enthusiastic, and she's conflicted by this as she values parties and merrymaking in the abstract. Me and all of Poland, those are the two groups of people that can pronounce it. She needs alcohol to get through the working day. She likes working outdoors and grumbles only mildly at inclement weather. So yeah, that's our party. We've got a lot of interesting dwarves here. Now, let's see. So directly ahead of where we're starting here, we've got some dirt that we can dig into. This looks like sand, which is good because that means we can make glass. That'll be nice. But we could always go a little higher and burrow into the ground or whatnot. I think, yeah, let's just start this off by, we'll go ahead and dig out kind of a hallway here. And then at the end of that hallway, I'm going to dig a staircase a few layers deep, and we'll hopefully find some, what is the word? Oh, goodness. We'll hopefully find some stone once we go a few layers down. We want to start building into stone rather than dirt, if at all possible. In the meantime, I'm going to have my logger get to work on some trees. Yeah, it should be a very good amount of wood to get started with. Okay, so that's loamy sand, that's peat, dolomite, peat, and okay. Looks like I went exactly deep enough to find the stone, so I'm going to make this a little bit wider. That way it's sort of expandable once we get to the point that we have a lot more dwarves coming through, because having a jammed up hallway is actually pretty bad. And I'm going to want to make this a maximum of, I think, 4 wide, so I'm going to make these doors a little extra long. Yeah, that should do. So we'll start with that. Just do a couple of small rooms on either side there. And then I think what I want to do in this fortress to start as well is we're just going to make a big general stockpile to get started. I'm going to have that on the lower priority for work to get done because I'd like to start building workshops first. So I'm just going to put those at priority 2. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I did that backwards. I want them at priority 5. Lower number is higher priority. So, yeah, they'll get to that after they dig out the rooms and stuff here. Now, up top, what I'm going to do is we're going to build a workshop. I'm going to just get a carpenter going as soon as possible, so we're just going to have a carpenter outdoors here. And then once that is built, we're going to get some beds made. So we're going to need a total of 7 beds to get started. So early Dwarf Fortress, your first year is a lot of setup. It's a lot of, making kind of quick things to make sure you have the bare necessities. Every time 2 dwarves need to pass in the hallway, one of them has to squat down and climb over the other one. Yeah, no, Dwarves don't really like it when that happens, so. Okay, now down here, gonna build a stoneworker. They are going to start by building us some chairs and tables. Chairs and tables are very important. And actually, as well, I'm gonna have this set to a lower priority than that, but I'm just gonna dig out, let's see, let's call it a 5x5 space, and that's where we're going to put the bedrooms. Sorry, that's where we're going to put the beds to start. I'm going to make actual bedrooms later on, but for now we just need to have a place where our dwarves can hang out with each other, can eat, and also a place where they can sleep, because they do not like to sleep on the ground. It makes them very upset. So, now once this is dug out, yeah, so that's just about done. We're going to make a stockpile. And like I said, this is just going to be an everything general purpose stockpile. I'm going to move them all to specific stockpiles later, but for now we just want dwarves bringing stuff inside. So that it's not just sitting out here on our wagon where it can get stolen by birds and wild animals and stuff. Because that's no good. And while that's getting worked on, I'm going to set up a... oh goodness, where is it? I'm going to set up a pasture. What that lets us do is just sort of set where we want our animals to hang out. So since all of the food is going to be in here for a while, we're going to put our cats in here, and that way if any vermin get in there, we can take care of them. Sleeping on the ground also makes me upset, so like I can relate to the dwarves in that sense. This stoneworker is done, so we're going to need some tables. Once you get to a certain point, which we should get going with it pretty quickly, we'll be able to assign duties not individually like this. We'll have a manager, and the manager will sort of dictate the things that you jump in. Jump Drive Project, thank you for the raid. Hello, raiders. How are you doing? Thank you so much for coming, hanging out. We're playing some Dwarf Fortress tonight here on the Long Haul. It's a chill stream about playing simulator games. We're doing some Dwarf Fortress, some colony simulation today. Hi there, Jump Drive Project. Hi, Mosaic Tile. Very nice to see you. How are you doing? What were you streaming? We're going to go with 5 tables and 5 chairs to get started. That was meant to be a smile. I got what you meant. I'm picking up what you're putting down. No problem. You were also streaming Dwarf Fortress? Well, great. I hope you had a good time. How's your fortress doing? Anything interesting going on there? This is probably my like 10th or 15th fortress in the Steam version. I play a lot of this game. Not on stream generally, but I just really like Dwarf Fortress is the thing. I really, really like Dwarf Fortress. We're going to start placing down these beds because most of them are done now. And then we are going to assign this as a dormitory where all of the dwarves can sleep. We'll get them actual individual bedrooms later. Dwarves don't particularly like sleeping in dorms, but it will be enough for now, and they'll know that that's where they need to go to sleep, where they actually have beds to lie in. It was mostly quiet until some random guy ran in swinging a sword around, possibly looking for an artifact you don't even have. Huh. You're going to need to pick this game up? Yeah. Dwarf Fortress is an absolute classic of the colony sim genre. It is basically the original colony sim. Like games like RimWorld and stuff like that just wouldn't exist without Dwarf Fortress. Dwarf Fortress is the game that inspired all of those to become what they are. So if you like colony simulation, this is the game. You only killed a couple people, so it could be worse, but now you need to figure out how hospitals work. Well, hospitals aren't too bad. You just need to have some beds, a table for surgery, generally a traction bench as well. Um, I forgot what I was digging out a room for. Oh, I'm gonna. Okay. Yeah, I'm actually gonna bring this one up further up here. Because what I'm gonna do is build a combination kitchen, still, and food stockpile. Also, the fact that I play a lot of this game does not mean that I'm good at this game. Just for the record, I'm not good at this game. um, Actually, we'll just erase those two. Yeah, well, I'm glad you were able to deal with the threat there. It's a kind of a rough situation to end up in. Okay, some of those tables are done, so we'll. What's the table button? It's just T. Okay. One thing to keep in mind in Dwarf Fortress is that dwarves do not like to share tables. So you only want one chair per table. We're going to set this as our meeting area for now and make it a tavern. But we also want to go into the settings and make sure that we're not getting any visitors, because we do not need visitors right now. By the way, just about the worst thing in this game is were creatures. You end up with like were giraffes and werewolves and things like that, and they're so strong, and it's a nightmare to fight them. So I actually have those completely turned off in this world. I just do not want to deal with them. So, yeah. Now I'm going to set another pasture up, and we're just going to make it pretty big and set all of our other animals to hang out there, including the dogs. The turkeys we're going to actually build a separate room for because they need to be kept locked down. Um, if it's not intrusive, may I ask about your channel? Absolutely. What do you want to know? I mean, the basics are Cable 2 is sort of a collective of artists and creators. We all kind of have our own shows and things like that. Um, yeah, it's fairly straightforward, but it is a little bit different from how a lot of Twitch channels handle things. So, but that's kind of the bare basics. I'm gonna set up a place to pasture those turkeys, so that they can lay eggs and stuff. By the way, setting this area as a meeting area means that that's where dwarves are going to hang out if they have nothing else to do, if they don't have a job currently assigned. What's our channel about? Gosh, that's an interesting question. Oh, great, we have hematite. Hematite is an ore of iron, which means we'll be able to get started with metalworking pretty quickly here as well. So Cable 2, like I said, it's a kind of a collective of artists and creators. The channel's kind of whole concept is we are trying to sort of create a bit of a network almost. We we want to be able to create art and be self-sufficient and have people sort of do the things that they want to do artistically, and a lot of that involves experimenting with formats of live video. We have several old VODs of shows that. Yeah, it's a shame Cable 3 didn't work out. We have sort of some shows like if you wanted to take a look at our YouTube channel, which is also just Cable 2, I believe that's in the about for our page here. There are shows such as like the Media Landscape, which is a live call-in show that is sort of generative art based on things that are being said by the people calling into the show based on specific prompts. Um, oh, about me and my content. Well, this is The Long Haul. That's the name of my show. What I do is I play simulation games. Um, so we're gonna get a still set up real quick. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the long and short of my deal. I am autistic. I love simulation. I particularly like trucks. um, yeah. So, I started out with this show sort of playing Truck Simulator and things like that, but I spent a couple of weeks recently, a couple of episodes of this show playing a fishing simulator called Russian Fishing 4. Yeah, I play simulation games. I really enjoy simulation just as a concept and in general. Um, yeah, I hope that hope that's a better explanation of what you were actually looking for there. Let's see. What else do I need? I just built a still. I need a kitchen. Goodness. Bought Truck Simulator so you could feel more comfortable driving. Still haven't played it. Yeah, it's not a bad way to kind of cruise around and get a little more comfortable with driving. It's not the most realistic thing in the world, but it works. We're also going to put up a fishery so our fishers can go fishing. Yeah. Now, what priority did I set these to? I set those to 6. Okay, that makes sense that they're doing this first then. Yeah, Truck Simulator is a wonderful game, but yeah, just as far as like things that I enjoy, I really like Truck Simulator. I really like Snow Runner, which is a different sort of trucking simulator that's more related to taking big rig trucks off road to do sort of heavy duty work. I'm just gonna pasture our turkeys in here. I'm also going to set up some nest boxes. Oh, I guess I can't actually do that with stone. Wait, what? Huh. Well, this is weird. Well, that gives us a chance to look at our nobles anyway. I'm going to set up a manager. No one in particular has relevant skills for that, so we're just going to grab our expedition leader to be our manager for now. Also, while I'm out here, I'm going to build a trade depot so that when a caravan shows up, we can actually, work with the caravan to get materials and stuff. Which, if any of the Sims games, do I like best? Honestly, I've only played 1 and 4. I've never played 3, which I'm kind of told is sort of the best liked one. God damn, those dwarves can fort. Yeah, they sure can, Cass. How are you doing today, Cassie? Sims 3 the best, but with the most paywalls? I thought Sims 4 had more paywalls than Sims 3. Fair enough, though. Oh, I just realized that we found coal. Oh, that's very good. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna get set up to do some metalworking as well. Actually, no, I want that one further up. I try to make it so doors are in the centers of rooms. That's not necessary, it's just something that I like. You watched Eevee all day? You started working on writing again too, so you feel accomplished? That's great. I'm so glad to hear that. I'm not sure what Eevee is. I'm not familiar, but I am glad that you are enjoying yourself. You know, I don't usually play this game with the music on. The music is really good, is the thing. A lot of the time, I simply just play it with no sound. Gonna make a few doors. Gonna make a... Where are you? There we go. Another table and another throne. And we're gonna use that for our manager's office. Oh, Evie's your niece Evangeline. She's 1? Oh, that's very cool. I like 3 for the most ambition of the open world concept and customization. Sims 4 stepped back on the customization and went back to closed instance. Yeah, that was something that I heard a lot when Sims 4 came out. I did buy Sims 4 on release day just because I was, you know, I hadn't played a Sims game in a long time and it seemed exciting. So I went ahead and purchased it right away. And that was something that I heard a lot from people talking about it, is that they were just really disappointed about the lack of open world options and whatnot after how much they had enjoyed The Sims 3's take on that. Alright. So I just set up a food stockpile, so dwarves are going to just start moving stuff out of the food out of the or the main stockpile there and into this one. Nothing too fancy there. What I need to do is also get started on some wooden barrels, because food doesn't rot in wooden barrels. I am going to need to eventually move this carpenter's workshop inside, but for now, this is fine. Oh, I had a really good time with Power Washer Sim. I enjoyed it a lot, and thank you again for getting me that. I am going to play it more on stream at some point, so hopefully you can catch it then. But yeah, no, Power Washer Sim is very, very fun. Very chill, very relaxing. It is nice to clean. Okay. Now, something else I need to set up. Like I said, the first in-game year in any given Dwarf Fortress game is just a lot of setup. It'll become a lot more self-sufficient the further you go, but, you know, you're doing a lot of work just getting things put together so that it can be self-sufficient. Coworker of mine really likes Power Wash Sim, another game you need to get. It's very fun, very relaxing. Probably not everyone's cup of tea, admittedly, but I like it a whole lot. I think it's very fun. Gonna set up to brew some drinks, just so we don't start running low on that. It's much more important to have drinks brewed and ready to go than it is to have, what is the word? Than it is to have... Oh my goodness. What are words? Than it is to have prepared food. Sorry. Sorry, I don't know why that took me so long to get the words. Okay. I am actually going to set up a hotkey here. You can set hotkeys to center you on a particular position, so now I can just zoom between these two spots pretty easily. It was nice seeing you. Got to get ready for sleep. Have a good night. Have a good night. It was so nice seeing you as well. Love to see you hanging around. I see you online a lot, but I haven't really talked to you in forever, so glad that you still think of me, apparently. I hope you have a good night. It was really nice. My miners are busy. There we go. I'm going to set up a farm in here. Generally, you want to get down to the caverns and farm in there. But I don't want to dig that deep yet because mean creatures that want to murder you come from the caverns. I didn't have enough fermentable plants to make drinks 4 times, but that's okay. Got gypsum. Okay, so we're going to build a... Whoops. build a farm plot. I'm getting used to the hotkeys in this one. It's a little difficult. And what I want to do is I want to set it so that only our planter is dealing with farming. I'm also going to turn off fishing on the planter there. All right. So, what we're going to do, we're going to set this for year-round plump helmets. Plump helmets are used for making dwarven wine. And they are a mushroom, which is why we're farming them inside. You can farm stuff outside, but we don't need to do that yet. Also, while I'm at it, just to make sure that we don't run out of fermentable plants, I'm just going to set it to harvest all of this random plants, all of these random plants that are around. Now, it doesn't look like we have a huge number of fruit trees. Actually, maybe we do have a decent number. Yeah, there's durians. Ooh, I've never seen a durian tree in this version. Well, anyway. Yeah. Oh, I think the I think the hauling plants up took higher priority there for a moment. You like how trees get mapped out in the visual version? How you go up and see, the layers of the trees? Is that what you mean, Cass? I like that a lot too. I love the way it looks. Alright. Looks like this river's pretty well stocked with fish, so we shouldn't have any food problems anytime soon, hopefully. Yeah, I think we're gonna do okay. Gonna turn on the showing water levels. Okay. Ton of spindly little circle guys hanging out. Yeah. Yeah. No, I really like how trees look in this version. It's very interesting. Okay, that room's all mined out. So in here, I'm going to set up. Whoops. I keep hitting 3 buttons instead of 2. In here, I'm going to go ahead and get a few things set up. We're going to start with a, let's see, a smelter. We will also need a wood furnace. But yeah, the sooner that we can start on making metal armor, the better, and metal weapons. Just it's gonna make our lives a lot easier when and if something comes to attack us. I want a smelter. I want a wood furnace, and I want a kiln. Oops, I want furnaces, not farming stuff. And that's going to cover a lot of stuff from us, and then I'm also going to put in a forge. Unfortunately, it was just popping in to say hello. We also need to turn in. That's totally fine. I hope you have a great night, Cass. It's always nice to see you. Always a pleasure. I will happily ramble out loud to myself about Dwarf Fortress all night, so no big deal that you can't hang out. Alright, I think what I need to do now is, we're gonna go another floor down. And I'm going to get some offices set up here. One for our manager, and then one for the bookkeeper that we're eventually going to have. And they'll help us keep track of what we actually have on hand. You'll notice that the numbers at the top of the screen are vague right now. Once we have a bookkeeper... Oh, we just got to summer. The game automatically saves every time a season changes, so we're gonna be waiting a while. The saving's a little bit slow because it's just got so much going on under the hood in this game. But yeah, the numbers at the top are a little vague right now. The reason for that is basically just that we don't have someone counting stuff, so it just gives us a very vague idea of how much stuff we have available. Cora is rotating slowly in place. I forgot to mute myself while I was eating my coffee there. I am eating a coffee, by the way. I put way too much flavor in it. I decided I wanted white chocolate in my coffee, and I may put a little too much. It's very, very, very sweet. It is tasty, but it's so sweet. Munch. Alright, so it's summertime now. It's summertime and you know what that means. Gotta head out to the beach. Gotta do some beachy things. Let's see, I'm going to set up a stone stockpile in this room. Stockpiling stone is kind of a fool's errand, but I like to do it anyway just so that there is stone available right next to my stoneworker. There it is. I just couldn't find the thing that said stone there. Then we're going to make sure that stone doesn't get put in here. Okay. Next, I want to build a forge and a metalsmith. Oh wait, I didn't build a smelter yet, did I? Oh, that is a smelter, okay. Let's see, I don't want a magma forge, I want a regular forge, please. Am I just blind? Why don't I see a regular forge? I think I'm just blind. I'll get back to that in a second. Unless I'm just getting mixed up and the forge is just... Yeah, I think the forge is just the metal worker. We brought an anvil with us because if you don't bring an anvil with you, you just kind of have to trade for it. How are you doing, buddy? I don't know why, I just got the sense that he might not be doing very well, but he seems to be doing okay. One must always carefully consider the correct course of action. Felt fondness talking with a friend, enjoyment after watching a performance. He was annoyed dwelling on having a drink without using a goblet, cup, or mug. That's important, actually. We need to, as soon as possible, get... Oh, we got more ores here. Limonite. More iron. We're going to have plenty of iron available. We need to, as soon as possible, start making mugs so that dwarves can actually, you know, drink their food out of something. Or, excuse me, drink their alcohol out of something. Because they do not like drinking out of their hands or out of the barrels. Okay, so this is going to be an office for our expedition leader, who is also our manager. Right. I do also need to set a broker, which I'm also just going to go ahead and make the expedition leader. You can kind of have the expedition leader handle a lot of the stuff on their own at the beginning, so that isn't a terrible idea. Let's see, we've got petrified wool, we've got way more hematite. Yeah, we're kind of sitting pretty as far as all this stuff goes. Now, this isn't probably going to be our permanent setup for this fortress. I'm kind of building everything in one place here. As we kind of dig deeper and, you know, have more resources available, it is going to get a little more organized. Especially once we have access to magma, basically anything forging related is going to be moved down to the caverns where the magma is, because they will feed off of that. And then they won't require coal or charcoal anymore. Smelter. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start making some coke, which is a material for smelting metal. It's basically a replacement for charcoal. So we only need exactly one piece of charcoal. And that will give us everything we need to get going on, you know, actually mining. Or, excuse me, actually forging stuff. I am going to dig out more of this, though, to get access to some more coal and some more, hopefully, lignite. Lignite is a lower density material as far as fuel goes, but it can also be made into coke, so that's important as well. But yeah, no, I'd say we're making a pretty good start here. We're one season in, we're about an hour into the stream. Not too shabby. Now, I'm going to set up a couple of work orders. First of all, I would like rock nest boxes for my turkeys. That's going to do two things. Basically, it'll allow our turkeys to start laying eggs. It will also... I'm going to put a door here as well. It'll also mean that we can take those eggs as food, or if I stop dwarves from taking those eggs, we can go ahead and use the or give birth to some new turkeys, which can then be, you know, slaughtered for food and etc. Oh wait, not a tanner. I don't need a tanner yet. Goodness me, what am I looking for right now? Oh, I wanted to set up a butcher, just so we had it for when meat was available. I'm also going to set up a work order to make some more beds. There are a couple of reasons for that, but I'm not going to get too into it right now. Now, what I really want to do is I'm going to start getting set up for bedrooms. So I think I'm going to set up my bedroom block here. I actually have a macro set up for how I like to set my bedrooms up. So I think this should be approximately the right spot. But yeah, since I have a macro, this should just sort of automatically run through and set it up for mining out the setup for bedrooms that I like. Oh no, I am one off center. I'm one off center regardless of which direction I go because of how I set this hallway up. That's so sad. Well, you can't win them all. This hallway is simply not the correct width to allow me to center this perfectly. But yeah, then we're going to start dropping beds in the rooms down here. Dwarves don't need huge rooms. I like to give them 3x3 rooms if I can, but, you know, as far as space efficiency goes, this is one of the best that you can get. Okay. I'm also going to get them set up to make rock mugs. Okay. Now we'll need to start setting up some more workshops and stuff as we go. But for now, I just want to get bedrooms going. Whoops. Okay. We don't want to set this one as a bedroom yet because it doesn't have a door, so we're just going to give that a minute until I have a door available for it. And then hopefully at some point not too long from now, we should get some immigrants. And then we'll be sitting a little bit prettier. Once you get to about 30 dwarves, things get a little bit easier just because you have more people. So things start getting done faster and whatnot. I also would like to set up another stockpile. So I'm actually going to hollow this area out a bit and then set up storage for bars of metal. And that will save us a bunch of energy later as well. Speaking of which, I also want wooden bins because that'll allow us to stack a lot more bars. I also haven't set up any Craftsdwarf workshops. I'm just going to go ahead and set one of those in here with our stone crafting. Oh, goodness. I just realized that I completely forgot to set something up. We don't actually want to use plump helmets for cooking. We want to save those exclusively for making alcohol. That way we'll always have something in stock for alcohol, and when you make alcohol out of something, you get seeds back from it, but when you do when you make food from them, or if people eat them, you do not get seeds. So under the wrong circumstances, you'll just completely run out of them. Yeah, we've got plenty of drinks for now, so not anything too worrying. It's just something to keep in mind. And then I think I'm going to set up to... Oh. There we go. It's prepare fine meal. I'm going to set up to make some decent food. Just because, you know, having good food will make the dwarves happier. And we like it when dwarves are happy. Just gonna set this to use closest material. Oh, someone is fighting. Uh-oh. Oh no. Oh no, this might be bad, actually. Oh no, one of our dogs died. Oh no, a unicorn killed our dog. Looks like the dog kind of instigated here. Scratches the unicorn, tearing skin and bruising muscle. Oh no. Unicorn attacks a stray dog. Yeah, the dog got a couple of good hits in. Unicorn kicks the stray log in the upper body with her right front hoof, bruising muscle, shattering the left ribs, jamming the right true ribs through the heart, and tearing apart the heart. Oh, God. Oh, this dog had a really bad time. I thought unicorns were nice, suddenly remembers Gravity Falls. I don't think I've seen enough Gravity Falls to know what you mean by that. Yeah, then the dog wasn't really getting good hits here. Like, kept getting it in the leg, but Oof. Oh, this dog got wrecked. The unicorn kicks the stray dog in the right front leg with her rear hoof, bruising the paw. Scratches the unicorn in the front leg, denting skin and bruising fat. Unicorn just keeps charging into the dog and knocking it down. And then I assume the dog, bled out at that point because unfortunately it got its ribs jammed into its heart. What a shame. Now that happened, I'm going to go ahead and make some rock hatch covers. Just so I can make sure I can close off my stairs if I need to. I don't know where the unicorn is. Oh, there they are. Okay, this is the one that the dog attacked. Yeah, this game is sad sometimes. Did this one get attacked at all? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, sometimes this game gets sad and it's part of the emergent storytelling. But hey, at the same time, we have migrants. We got migrants incoming. Let's take a look at some of these guys. This guy's 91 years old. Actually, I think that's a one. I'm not sure. We'll check. Vukar Edathbomrek. Vukar Amused Whips. She has very good creativity, but she has an iffy memory, poor focus, a questionable spatial sense, very bad analytical abilities, a lack of understanding of social relationships, and very little linguistic ability. She occasionally overindulgence. At this time I must go. It's nice to meet you. Take care. You take care too. It was so nice to have you in here. I hope you have an excellent rest of your evening or day or whatever time it is for you. Have a good one now. Had to eat a little more coffee there, sorry. She isn't particularly curious about the world. She has a tendency toward forming deep emotional bonds with others. She doesn't often feel lustful, prefers to present herself modestly. She tends not to be swayed by emotional appeals, but takes offered help and gifts without feeling particularly grateful. She often acts with compassion, but doesn't easily fall in love and rarely develops positive sentiments. She has a sense of duty. Alright. This person, he has a great deal of patience, very good focus, very good intuition, and a good feel for social relationships, but he has an atrocious spatial sense. He has no sense of vengeance or retribution. He's not particularly interested in what others think of him, prefers to think of himself modestly, or present himself modestly. He tends to share his own experiences and thoughts with others. He tends not to be swayed by emotional appeals. He can handle stress, doesn't often feel lustful, does not go out of his way to help others. Alright, so these two are just apparently like the ace squad. They don't really have any, they don't really have any relationships, and doesn't appear to be anyone at the fortress. And we have a third one here. Kubuk Paddlesold has a great ability to focus, great affinity for language, great intellect, and good creativity. But she has very bad intuition. She doesn't easily hate or develop negative feelings, tends to be a bit stubborn in changing her mind about things, generally finds herself quite hopeful about the future. She's slow to trust, tends to consider what others think of her, tends to be swayed by the emotions of others, has little interest in joking around, can handle stress, has a greedy streak. She's pleased by her own appearance and talents. Good for her. Good for her. That's body positivity. She likes a little excitement now and then. She taps her feet constantly when she's nervous. When she's thinking, her body becomes very still. She scratches her ear whenever she's bored. All right. Let's see if we get any more migrants here. There's another. This is a child, but their name is Avuz Koglakish, Avuz Bootback. She has a natural ability with music, but has quite poor focus. She hates vows, obligations, promises, and other binding elements that could restrict her life, though she's conflicted by this for more than one reason. She couldn't care less about her appearance, talents, or other personal vanities. She's sometimes cruel. She does not find most jokes humorous. She can be very happy and optimistic. She's quite ambitious, thinks she is fairly important in the grand scheme of things, tends to be a little wasteful when working on projects. She does not go out of her way to help others. She's moved by art and natural beauty, and she's troubled by this since she dislikes the natural world. That is a very good personality trait. She loves nature and and art, but she fucking hates it. She can't help but love it when she sees it, but like absolutely hates that she loves it. I adore that. I I absolutely love that for her. She hates nature, but she loves those cool nature photography posts on social media. Oh, that's wonderful. I absolutely adore that as a personality element. She's not particularly interested in what others think of her. She generally acts with a narrow focus on the current activity. Okay. There's another child. Two more children. Wow, we're getting several children here. Which is actually kind of good. Children can do chores, which one of those chores is taking care of hauling, which will free up other dwarves to, the adult dwarves to do, the actual hard work. He dislikes, or he has a natural ability with music and good spatial sense, but a shortage of patience. Okay. Dislikes abstract discussions and would much rather focus on practical examples. He tries to keep his things orderly, but tends to consider what others think of him. He isn't particularly curious about the world, is moved by art and natural beauty, and is troubled by this since he dislikes the natural world. Oh, these two are two peas in a pod, huh? Are they friends? Oh, that's that's her brother. So I guess they can relate. Um, that was a Vuz, right? Yeah. So yeah, that's her brother. I guess are these children all siblings? He tends to be a little wasteful when working on projects, so likes to take it easy. Friendly, though he's conflicted by this for more than one reason. He doesn't like that he's friendly. He tends to ask others for help with difficult decisions, doesn't mind wearing something special now and again. He tends to share his own experiences and thoughts with others. He's quite comfortable with others that have a different appearance or culture. He occasionally overindulges. He doesn't try to get things done perfectly. Okay. He dreams of ruling the world. Oh man, that's a hell of a dream, kid. How old is he? He's 12. Okay. And that one is 13. This one is 6, but yep, also a sibling of those three. Um, she has a great affinity for language and an iron will, but a meager kinesthetic sense. She does not generally respond to emotional appeals. She has a low sense of self esteem. She has a tendency to go at it alone without considering the advice of others. She's trusting, lives a fast paced life, does not go out of her way to help others. She tends to avoid crowds. She's generally quite confident of her abilities when undertaking specific ventures. She likes to brawl. That's not a great quality. She does not easily hate or develop negative feelings. She tends to be passive in discussions. She's brave in the face of imminent danger. She doesn't mind wearing something special now and again. She rarely feels discouraged, occasionally overindulges, likes to keep things practical without delving too deeply into the abstract. She tends to be a little wasteful when working on projects, isn't particularly curious about the world, and is not particularly interested in what others think of her. She laughs in a unique way when she's nervous. Okay. Um Interesting. So one thing to know about Dwarf Fortress for those who don't already know this, the children will babies become children at 1 year old, and once they are 1 year old, they will start doing work around the fortress, and they'll have a fully developed personality and stuff. I just assume this is something to do with how dwarves grow. they They start growing pretty quickly. Oh my goodness, so many children. That's the fifth child. Like the red shirts also. The reason I can tell these are children right away is because they have the red shirts. Red shirts are children. He has very good creativity, but has a shortage of patience, poor empathy, and little natural inclination toward music. How old is he again? He's 4. He has a very calm demeanor, has a strong tendency toward privacy, very comfortable around others that are different from himself. He doesn't generally respond to emotional appeals. He has a sense of duty, though he's conflicted by this for more than one reason. He could be considered rude. He can sometimes act without deliberation. He tends to make a small mess with his own possessions. He's somewhat fearful in the face of imminent danger, prefers that everyone live as harmoniously as possible, though he's troubled by his own nature as he prefers discord and debate at a more abstract level. He has a tendency toward forming deep emotional bonds with others. He has a greedy streak. He lives a fast paced life and he is often cheerful. He talks to himself when he's angry. I can relate to that last one. Tacit Cassadoc. Oh, there were 5 total children. I was looking at this as if it was 4 total. That's why. Goodness, though, this jeweler didn't I could have sworn that this lady's stuff said that she doesn't often feel lustful, but I guess not. Um, She has a sum of patience, but she has meager creativity, poor analytical abilities, poor focus, and an iffy sense for music. She can be very happy and optimistic. She prefers that everyone live as harmoniously as possible, though she's troubled by her own nature, as she prefers discord and debate at a more abstract level. She's somewhat uncomfortable around those who appear unusual or live differently from herself. She tends to be passive in discussions. She doesn't seek out excitement. She tends to be a little wasteful when working on projects. She sometimes acts with little determination and confidence. She's very humble. She tends to avoid crowds. When she gets bored, she starts talking to inanimate objects. She always takes a deep breath whenever she is surprised. She scratches her head when she's bored. Well, all right. Is that all the migrants? Yeah. So that was what, 2 adults and let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So that was 3 adults and 5 children. But hey, we now have 15 dwarves in the fortress. That's great. We'd love to see that. All right. I have the world paused at the moment, but I'm just gonna quickly get back to putting these bedrooms together. I think I'm going to actually need more beds than I initially set up for. I was kind of setting up for a single. What is it called? I was setting up for the 7 dwarves that I had rather than for, you know, a larger group of immigrants. I wasn't expecting them to come so soon. Whoops. That's what happens if you don't have a door on a bedroom. Is it tries to set it as the entire space. So I'll just do these bedrooms individually real quick, the ones that have beds but no. So what'll happen here is as dwarves get sleepy, they'll come on down here and find a bedroom that isn't claimed by anyone. And once that's done, none of these have been claimed yet. Once they've slept in it, it becomes their bedroom. The stray dog tame has been missing for a week. Yeah, we know where the stray dog is. Sadly. Actually, I guess I don't know how far out it went. Oh, yeah, there it is. What a shame. I'm sad about that dog. Gonna zoom back in a little bit here. Okay. We're just going to make this bars and block storage. Okay, a few more rock doors there, but we're going to need several more. We're also going to need more beds to provide bedrooms for everyone. I do also need to carve out a room for woodworking. And that way, you know, they don't have to come all the way up here to build the beds and stuff. We'll get rid of this woodworking shop once that's done. Okay, fine meals have been prepared. They're canceling a bunch of orders to turn coal into coke because I apparently used up all the coal I already had. So we're just going to carve out the sides of this hallway as well. What do we need here? We need a carpenter. That gives us a few more pieces of coal. Set a few more bedrooms up. Oh. That was weird. There's a lungfish there. I don't think lungfish attack, so that should be fine. I'm just gonna go ahead and hope that's fine, because I haven't set up a military or anything yet. Okay, so that is 4, 8, 11, 12, 13. We got 13 beds for 15 dwarves. So we're sitting pretty here. Just gonna place whatever beds I have available. Lungfish conquers the stronghold. You know, wilder things have happened to me in Dwarf Fortress, to be completely honest. Okay, and now that this is here, we're going to place a stockpile. That's what I wanted. We're going to put in a wood stockpile. I'm also going to do something here, which is I'm going to set up a dumping zone, a garbage dump. Not because I want to like get rid of things, but because I just want to get them out of the way of my stockpiles here. So I'm going to designate all of this stone as trash, and that'll get it out of my stockpiles and leave room for the things that I actually want in the stockpiles. Double check that worked how I wanted it to in just a moment. Darn, it didn't work. Let's see. I'm gonna need to undesignate the things that are already on these spaces. Make sure that they're not set as trash. Oh wait, that was just rocks. I do want the rocks to go away. Then we'll take our everything stockpile here and just remove wood. That'll make some more room in that stockpile. Now I have a bunch of shells from pond turtles, so I'm also going to have them make some shell crafts. And what I'll do is I'll set it up to make 5 at a time, and we'll actually do a little bit of advanced stuff here. We'll set it up to make 5 at a time, and we'll have them make it if there are more than 5 shells available. And that means that when they finish the order, it'll then check if there are more than 5 shells available, and then make them into crafts as well. Now, crafts are important because they are sort of luxury items, and dwarves like a little luxury once in a while. It'll make your dwarves happier. It'll make your population happier. So, you want to have luxuries available when you can. Whoops. Darn, I'm 1 door short. Oh, wait. And then anything that gets dumped in a trash pile like this will be immediately locked so that dwarves don't use it. So I'm just gonna, when they drop stuff up, I'm just gonna mouse over it and unlock those. I'm also going to build another farm plot here. Now, the plump helmets, the thing that we're farming here, those can be made year-round. But that is not true of all crops, so we're going to make another farm plot and have that set up for some seasonal crops so that we have access to some things we can use for food and other types of alcohol, because dwarves like a little variety. We finally got into the game's plot. I'm going to need more wooden bins. We're just going to go ahead and make like 15 of those, and that'll hopefully give us a lot more room to work with. Alright, so we got everything out of the wagon, so now we can finally go ahead and just remove that wagon. We're also going to go ahead and remove the carpenter's workshop that's up here, since we now have one that's actually, inside of the fortress. Then I'm going to build another crafts dwarf's workshop in here as well. We finally got into the game's plot. Eerie noise. Then I think the next thing I want to do is going to be hollowing out some of this floor here. And I'm going to go ahead and get a hospital set up. So we're just gonna go a 9 by 6 room here. That should do just fine. You read my message and then there was silence and then a loud weird noise from the background music. I see. Oh, I actually forgot to set more rock doors, so. But as you can tell from all of the rocks just absolutely everywhere in here, there's a very low chance that you ever run out of rocks. There's not actually an infinite supply, but you just end up with so many rocks that there's a very low chance that you ever actually run out. Oh good, this person's making that door. That's Nil. Hello, Nil. Oh, some of my dwarves are starting to get a little agitated because they haven't been able to pray for a while. That's unfortunate. I'll need to build a temple for them soon. Oh, I didn't realize this was mostly still dirt up here. I don't want my hospital to be in a room that's dirt. It doesn't actually matter if the hospital is in a room that's dirt, but it's unpleasant for me. I find that idea unpleasant. We've made it to autumn now, and we're probably not going to make it quite to the winter time by the time the stream ends here. We've got about, call it like 20-ish minutes left, because I started a bit late. Normally I'd be stopping at about 5, but it just took so long to generate the world that we got started a little bit late, so I'm going to run a little late here. Oh, you were making a joke about farm plots. I get it now. I didn't get it at first. That wasn't obvious to me at first because I'm silly. I'm just a silly plushie. I don't know nothing. Hopefully this direction is all rock with any luck. Oh, you said it after I talked about farm plots on your end, but then I didn't see it for 30 seconds. Yeah. Stream delay do be that way, unfortunately. Now when a child has a little rainbow like that, that means that they're playing pretend. They're having a good time. And thankfully the dwarves do seem to be enjoying the bedrooms. I'm surprised that anyone is sleeping in the in the dormitory also. I'm gonna leave the dormitory here, so like it might be worth it to get rid of the dormitory, but I'm actually gonna go ahead and leave it here for a while, just to make sure that when I get migrants, there is a place for them to sleep without me having to go ahead and set up a whole nother, floor of stuff. Speaking of which, though, I'm going to go ahead and set that to dig out. We're going to set that at the lowest priority, but just use my macro real quick. This game has macros. You have to use the keyboard to set them up, so it's a little bit finicky. But once you've done it, it means that, I don't have to designate all of that myself. It just automatically takes care of it for me and sets up all these bedroom squares without me having to have any input at all. Okay, now what I'd like to start doing is I would like to start making some metal. We have a decent amount of coke. So I'm actually going to do two things. I'm going to make plaster powder, which will be used in the hospital for taking care of people's broken bones. It's used to make casts. And then I'm going to smelt hematite ore. I do also want to... Wait. I always forget which one this happens, and I guess it happens at the smelter. I'm going to make some more coke. I have a couple of pieces of coal still sitting around, so... Yeah. I do also have lignite sitting around, so I should set... Let's see, there's at least 4 pieces of lignite, so I'm going to go ahead and set a work order to do coke from lignite 4 times. Next thing that I want to do is going to be to set up a jeweler so that I can start carving some of these gemstones and stuff that I found into some nicer gemstones, which will make for good trading. Although it is a grim reminder of the winter hardships to come, the supply caravan from the Rainy Irons is a welcome sight. Their eyes are alight with the anticipation of inspecting the splendid products of your industrious crafts dwarves. Take careful stock of your own stores. What these merchants offer might very well be the difference between a prosperous future and a slow and meaningless death. Very cheery game. So we're going to go to our trade depot here. I didn't actually set up a broker yet. Oh, yes, I did. Okay. Never mind. We're good. Also, I'm going to go ahead and set this jeweler as a bookkeeper real quick, just so we have someone to keep track of that stuff. Oh, I don't have a table and a chair yet, though. Okay. Gonna make a quick table and a quick chair. But yeah, we'll go up to the trade depot. We're going to request that the broker go ahead and come up to the depot, but then we're going to move some goods into here. So what have we got? Not a lot that's worth much. These barrels of plants are worth a decent amount. And this prepared food is also worth a decent amount, so we'll do those. But I don't really have many crafts or anything. We'll go ahead and bring these 2 boxes up. And yeah, hopefully we can get some decent stuff out of there. Oh, someone finally found the stray dog. Sad. And now our dwarves are going to head on over here and drop off the things that we set. Now we get a diplomacy window. The expedition leader, Cog Metzelab, meets with the outpost liaison, Tobel Kanzutir. I am your liaison from the mountain homes. Let's discuss your situation. The world is the same as ever. They bring absolutely no news. They have no news from the outside world at all. Alright, let's see. What do we want them to bring for us next year? I think really what I would be interested in... Now you want to select something, because setting up trade agreements like this is good for diplomacy. So that you want there to be something available, or that you pick from here, even if it's not something that you necessarily need. That said, plump helmet spawn is always a good thing to have. And maybe some spears. I'm gonna make my own spears pretty soon here once I have metal bars set up, but, you know, spears. And then requesting specific stuff will increase the price, so those are going to be double the normal price when they come next year, but, you know, if I need them, I need them. If I don't, I don't. Well then, we have finalized the import agreement. Feel free to go over the documents. Let's discuss what we are willing to offer for your craftsmanship. A need for ivory/tooth amulets and musical instruments is expected, and if you're able to provide some, the caravan will offer 190% and 195% respectively. This export agreement only applies to trade this year, not with any merchants currently present. Okay, that's some good diplomacy. Oh, and you'll see all over the ground now, these have started to drop fruits from the trees. So I'm actually going to set up a quick type of zone here. A gather fruit zone. And this is just going to make it so that the dwarves will come through here and, you know, pick up any fruit on the ground. I also have it set. I haven't made a step ladder yet. Let me set up a step ladder. I want at least 2 or 3 because sometimes dwarves will get stuck in trees if someone grabs the step ladder. So I'm going to make 3 of those. But then that means they'll also climb the tree and pick any fruit that's in there as well, which currently there aren't, but because they've all fallen to the ground. But it's going to be a thing that we'll need in the future. And then we'll be able to make some more kind of exotic alcohols from what they have there. Now we're going to go ahead and trade with the group from the mountain home. And I think we might go ahead and call it there once I'm done trading. So they don't have any steel bars, sadly. Steel bars would be really what I'm interested in as far as metal goes. They've got some glass. Clay. Don't really need clay. Plenty of ropes. They don't have a ton. This is an instrument. I'm going to go ahead and buy this instrument. Definitely going to take that because it's fairly cheap as far as instruments are concerned. That's also a toy. I'm going to grab that because we have a bunch of children now. So we'll get a couple of those, and I'll start making toys as well, but for now, that'll do. I'm going to actually buy a couple of these cages so I can set up some cage traps. And, you know, obviously all of this stuff, for the most part, is stuff that we can make ourselves. We don't actually have to buy this, but it's a good idea to have some of this around. I'm definitely going to grab this steel spear. It's only 300 monies. And spears are a very good weapon, and steel is pretty much the best material to make a spear from. We'll also grab this iron pick and copper pick. And that means that we're at about 865. I'm going to probably not grab anything else, but just a quick scroll through to see what they've got. Steals my heart? Oh no, I need that. I need my heart. I do things with that. I use it for things. Actually, we're going to grab some leather, too. I'm actually going to build a leather working shop and start actually making some things from leather, which I haven't actually done up to this point. Let's see. Lots of yarn. A little yarn is probably a good idea. And thread. Just because that gets used in the hospital for suturing wounds. Backpacks, quivers, enormous corkscrews, spiked balls. I'm a stuffed animal. I don't have blood, but I just need the heart, okay? I need it. Don't worry about what I'm doing with it. I need it. I just need it, okay? Don't worry about it. Don't think too hard about it. They're biting me. Biting and maiming and killing. Normally I try to buy all the books that I can, but actually I'm going to leave those behind for now because I really don't have any dwarves who can make much use of them. And I don't have any visitors currently. I kind of intentionally stopped visitors from coming in. Let's see. What do we have? I think I'm going to go ahead and sell this barrel. That's not quite enough for the traders to be happy with the trade. When the numbers over in the bottom left here turn green, which I'm realizing now the chat kind of covers those up. I'll need to work that out next time. But when those numbers turn green, that's when we'll know that they are happy with the trade that we've put together. Let's give them a couple of our shell products. And by a couple, I mean a whole bunch of them. Once our crafters get, you know, better at working with stuff. Oh, that'll be enough. That won't, so we'll use the 14 one. Once our crafters get good enough, this stuff will be worth a whole lot more, and we can also do things like encrust them with gems to make them inherently worth more. But for now, that should do. So we're going to make that trade. Wonderful. Thank you for your business. No problem. Thank you. And now the broker can go back to doing their regular job. The brokers are really only needed once every couple of years, or once every couple of months when the caravans show up, so it's a pretty low priority job. Country dwarves make do. Yep, they sure do. Okay, so it's autumn currently. It's early autumn. Dimple cups are... Oh, dimple cups can be done every season. Well, let's go ahead and plant some dimple cups. I also want to set up a couple of things here. Up here, I'm going to set up a farmer's workshop, as well as just the farmer's workshop for now. But that'll allow us to, you know, shear the animals we have and stuff, so that'll be important. Water buffalo can stay out here too. I didn't realize it wasn't actually set for a pasture. But yeah, once we shear some of those animals, we'll have yarn available, and we can make that into clothes and other useful products like that. We're also going to go ahead and designate our hospital, which will be right here. Set that as a hospital. I'm gonna actually carve out just 2 rooms for now. We don't need a whole ton of rooms in our hospital currently. You don't technically need any rooms at all, but it's more comfortable for the dwarves who are staying in it. So we're just gonna put in some doors and some beds. I don't currently have any beds. Let's make 10 more beds. Okay, I do have, I think, a table available, but I was going to use it for this office. I'll go ahead and make some more tables in bulk. Because we need a table to have surgery done on it. But we also need them for, you know, offices and dining halls and so on. But yeah, we've passed over 2 hours here. So I think we're gonna set that up for now, and we're just gonna go ahead and call it good. Yeah. I really appreciate everyone coming out to you know, watch me play a little bit of Dwarf Fortress. This save I'm going to hang on to, and we'll continue playing it as things go on until this fortress dies. So, you know, I'll play along, and we'll see where we get. You know, maybe we'll all die horribly. That is a thing that happens in this game, which is best known in the community as fun. So maybe we'll have a little fun. We don't know yet. We're gonna have to figure it out. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and call it good. Place a couple more things real quick. Just so that this is all set up and ready to go when we next come in, so I won't have, forgotten what we're doing. And oh, heck, I also need wooden chests for the hospital where they can store their materials. Okay, and then these two are getting assigned to our hospital, the Earthen Home. But that means that those bedrooms will only be used by hospital patients. I'll also need to set a chief medical dwarf. There's a whole lot of steps to this process, if you couldn't tell already. We'll make the fish cleaner. We'll make them the chief medical dwarf. And we'll also set them as the primary doctor for the hospital here. That'll mean that we have someone who can do diagnoses and work on patients. If you don't do that, then you will not have any work done on your patients. Just trying to get these last couple quick things done, and then we'll call it a night. So yeah, like I was saying, thank you for coming out. The long haul, this stream happens every week on Thursday at 11 p.m. Central. And you love to see it. I really enjoy doing these streams, and I hope that people are having fun when they watch. Thanks for Strimmy Bimmy. Absolutely, you're welcome for Strimmy Bimmy. I hope y'all have a great rest of your night, and I'll catch you later.